What's going on, everybody? It's GameUnboxingReviews here, and welcome to a very special video for LEGO Marvel's Avengers. Now, I know with, every new game, like, LEGO Marvel, LEGO Batman 3, etc., I always like to do, sort of like what I would like to see in this game, and you all seem to really enjoy those videos, and you were asking a lot for this one. You were like, what do you want to see, Ben? What do you want to see? And I never told anyone because I just wanted to make a fun video and talk all about it. And here it is. This video I'm going to be talking about all the things I would really like to see. It's mainly characters, this video. If you guys want to see little more detail, then I might go into a little more detail near the end, but it's mainly characters because it's just slim pickings at the moment. We don't really know anything about this game. And basically, another thing I need to mention is you'll notice all the characters and costumes, because there's a lot of costumes I mentioned, because basically what I try to do is stick to the MCU. I don't want to get out of that because we don't know if Spider-Man, X-Men, Fantastic Four, etc. are going to be in the game yet. They could be, there's a very high chance they could be, but I don't want to get anyone's hopes up yet. But if you guys like, then maybe, say if Spider-Man was announced, then maybe I'll do a revised wish list, and then I'll make a video of like the characters I want to see of characters that aren't actually in the movie. Anyway guys, without further ado, let's get to it. Alright, so straight away I'm going to talk about my most anticipated character. The character I hope is mostly in the game. And you're going to be surprised, like as you can see here, it is in fact Obadiah Stane. Now, what really shocked me about LEGO Marvel, when I was actually thinking of this wish list, I was like, why on earth didn't I think of Obadiah at the time? It was like he was erased from my memory. I just completely forgot about that villain. The villain that started the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe, really. And he's awesome. He really was a great villain, I really, really liked Obadiah Stane. So I thought, why not make him a character? How awesome would that be to run around as Obadiah Stane? And so I thought of a few ideas. So basically, this character, he should have, melee attacks and things like that. You could maybe give him a pistol, because I think he shot someone in the film. Of course, you can, be able to holster it as well. But another thing I thought for Obadiah, to make him more unique to most characters, because you got to have some uniqueness to these characters, you could maybe give him this ability to weaken enemies with technology, like that scene where he pulls out Tony Stark's arc reactor from his chest, like that where he used, I can't remember what it was, but it was like this thing he puts on his ear, and it prevents him from doing what Tony was doing, and Tony basically couldn't move or anything. That would be really cool to see in game. It might be, they might have to dial it down, not make it look too terrifying, but, they could still do it. I think it would be great. Now, you're probably thinking, so you want an old man, Obadiah Stane, as a playable character. Is that it? Nope. No, not at all. Basically, as well, I think it would be so cool. This is the thing that just blows my mind when I think about it and imagine seeing it in game. Is you press and hold triangle or Y, depending on the system you're playing on, and Obadiah will call for the Monger suit. The suit will then land, and you can get inside of it, or if you want, you can just admire the armor and actually take the time to look at it. How cool would that be? I mean, just, calling for the suit, it comes down, you can look around at it, whoa, look how big this thing is, and then you get inside it, it lights up, the eyes light up, the arc reactor lights up. That would be, oh man, that would be flipping awesome. I would just love that. Once Obadiah is in the suit, I would say he should have super strength and be able to break Lego walls and pick up large objects. And similar to in Lego Marvel, I really liked how you could pull stuff out of the ground. I thought that was an awesome feature, so I hope they bring stuff like that back. I think, if you want to really push the big figures, I think they should be able to defeat enemies quicker than usual. I think they kind of could, but push at that a little more would be cooler. And of course, with the Monger, he also has a variety of weaponry and gadgets, such as an awesome minigun, which shoots continuous rounds, missiles, which he shoots from his wrist, and thrusters. Now, I thought a lot about the thrusters. I was like, could you really do thrusters for Obadiah Stane? It would be hard because, he does fly in it, but it's really slow, and I'm not sure if it would be enjoyable. So maybe just give, characters like Hulk super jumps, but for Obadiah, give him, a boost jump. So, when he jumps, you see, the thrusters appear or something. That would be pretty cool. Or if they want, they could try and do flying, but I imagine it would be pretty difficult. Alright, so next up is just a small thing, but I thought I'd mention it. Now, with this list, like I said, it was difficult to make, but I haven't just thrown characters in there just so I can mention them. No, these are things I would actually like to see. But yeah, so basically, as you can see here, this is of course Whiplash from Iron Man 2. Now, if you've played LEGO Marvel, you'll know Whiplash was in the game, and it was cool. You know, he was a decent character. I'm sure they could make him even better this time, but he was a pretty fun character to run around as, I think, and just, you know, blow up the city. But there was one thing missing from him, one thing which I really, really wanted to see, and that was, of course, his armor. You know, his armor was really cool. It just looks so cool. You know, there's no other suit in the Marvel Cinematic Universe that looks like that, and it didn't really have a lot of screen time, so it was just such a cool looking suit, and it was a shame, you know, you only saw it for a few minutes. But to actually be able to run around with this and to smash things, I think that would be awesome. And I think in the film he flies down, so I'm pretty sure it would be a suit you could fly around as, and you know, just to have Whiplash's, you know, whips and actually be able to fly around and things, I think he'd be a really fun character to play as, and definitely a huge improvement from the first game. Alright, so next up is probably the most highly requested feature I have seen for this game. To be honest, I don't blame anyone who's asking for it, because I want it as much as they do. Now, here's the thing, okay? With LEGO Marvel, we had the SHIELD helicarrier. Now, with the state the Marvel Cinematic Universe is in right now, I would say the SHIELD helicarrier isn't the best option for a hub. Instead, since for this game it's the Avengers, why not have Avengers Tower as the hub? You know, you can walk around in it and do all these kind of things, and then of course have New York City new and more improved in things as the actual open world. That would be really cool. Now, in Avengers Tower, you should be able to go inside Tony's garage, and in Tony's garage, it should have these suits that I'm showing here, which is, I believe, the Mark 1 to 7, I think. All of these suits should be on display, you should be able to see them, and you should be able to go up to it and get into one at any time. Just go outside and run around with all these cool suits, and if you want at any time, you can get out of the suit. How cool would that be? I mean, that just blows my mind how cool that would be in game, and I really, really hope they do it. Just having all these suits would just be super cool, and being able to get in and out of them, that would be amazing. And I honestly think that would be the best Iron Man experience in a video game yet, because there's been a lot of hit and misses with Iron Man these past few years with video games, and LEGO Marvel completely blew us all away. You could do practically everything. It was only missing a few things, one of those being suit-ups. Now, another thing that would be really cool, is not just getting in and out of a suit. Maybe you can call a suit, like the Mark 42 in Iron Man 3. Maybe you can, like, press triangle or something like that, and then the suit flies onto you and catches it. That would be amazing. Or, perhaps, with the Mark 7 only, when you're falling off a building, instead of pressing triangle to, pull a parachute, maybe he actually calls for a suit and the suit catches him. Just like how in the Avengers where Loki throws Tony. That would be amazing. I'd probably go to the highest point in the game and jump off over and over again just to see that scene, because that would just be really cool. Now, before I end this, part of the video, I just want to list a few other, armors that I think would be pretty cool. They're not in order, because I thought it would be nice to see more suits that, are just a bit of fun. Because these ones right here, these are important because they're part of the films. And you could also have the Age of Ultron ones as well. But these three right here, it's just a bit of fun. So first off, we got the Silver Centurion. I think this one would be amazing. You could have the blades. It could have its own fighting style. That would just be really cool. Next up is the shotgun. This one, I just love the look of. It just looks super cool. And I probably imagine it's quite powerful as well. So, maybe make that one have more ballistic weapons. And finally, the Gemini suit. This one is, I think, it's like a spacesuit, basically. It's Tony's spacesuit, and it just looks so cool. I mean, you could make it go faster, probably. It could have really cool weapons. Just imagine, what if they do like a Guardians of the Galaxy mission, and then you go into free play and go into, you play as Tony Stark and you get the Gemini suit. That would be amazing. I mean, that's what I really wanted to see at the end of Iron Man 3, kind of like Tony go to space. So it was a shame we didn't get to see that, but hey, maybe we'll get to make it in this game. Next up is another idea, which is basically the same thing I just mentioned. But trust me, this is the final Iron Man thing, I promise, because I have actually listed about 3 Iron Man things by now. But basically, what I think would be really cool is not just Tony to be able to get into suits and everything. I think Rhodey should be able to do it as well. And what I've done here is I put a picture up of how I think Rhodey should look. He should have, his Colonel uniform, the blue suit. That's just such a cool looking suit, and it'd just be awesome to run around with it. And then, of course, Rhodey's only had 3 suits in the films. I mean, he might have a new one in Age of Ultron because he is in the film. But right now, I'm pretty sure he's just had 3. He's had the Mark 1, the Mark 2, and the Iron Patriot. All really cool suits, and, you know, to be able to use them at any time, I'd say that would be amazing. I mean, let's just hope they do that, because it would just be super cool. Alright, so now on to Captain America. Now, Captain America is, you know, he used to be a character that I thought was pretty cool, but not super cool. Now, after the movies, he's one of my favorite Avengers. I mean, Iron Man is my favorite Avenger, but Captain America is definitely up there. I mean, he's just so cool. Chris Evans does a great job of this character, and if you haven't seen Captain America the Winter Soldier, watch it. It shows how cool Captain America can really be. I mean, it's a brilliant movie, and I can't wait for the Russo brothers to make Civil War, because that movie is going to be amazing. With them guys behind it, and Captain America and Iron Man, and, you know, all the other characters, we've got nothing to worry about. I can't wait. Anyway, I kind of thought Captain America in LEGO Marvel was great. You know, I didn't really have any problems with him. I think they did great with the character. There was no issues, really. So I thought, you know, like I said, it was difficult to make this video. Why not put in a few costumes? I thought I would do that. So with Captain America, I think, since this, you know, whole game is based on the Marvel Cinematic Universe, each character should have all the suits they've had in the past. Now, Iron Man is a little difficult because he's had over, like, if you count Age of Ultron, it's probably 45 suits now, and you can't do that. You can't put all of them in the game because, I don't know, that would just be too much. If they do that one day, I would be blown away and I'd be very happy. I mean, maybe they'll do a DLC, I don't know. Anyway, Captain America's only had a few suits, so it's not that bad. I think they could definitely do it. And basically the first one we see here is the first Avenger. I love this suit. I thought it was really cool to see it again in Winter Soldier, so hopefully we see it again. Next one is the Avengers. Why not? You know, the Avengers was already in LEGO Marvel, so basically you just have to use the same LEGO figure again. I'm not sure if I would use it much, but I just think the fact of being able to wear it at any time, that should be really cool. I think, you know, it just shows that this game's more about the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and it'd just be really nice. Next after that is the Winter Soldier. I love that suit so much. I mean, it just looks so cool. It really is. It's just great. I mean, I think it would be really cool to be able to take the mask off. That might be pushing it, right? That might be pushing it because features like that are difficult. Simple things where you want to take a mask off, it would be amazing, but I'm just not sure how it would work. But hopefully, if they find a way, yeah, do it. And finally, I thought, why not have Chris Evans's civilian clothes, you know, Steve Rogers in his normal clothes instead of the costume, because I thought it was really cool how I could run around as Peter Parker, Bruce Banner, Tony Stark, you know, just in normal clothes. But it was a shame that, you know, you can play as Steve Rogers, and maybe have the shield at the Avengers Tower. Maybe you can get the shield and take it at any time, or just put it back. So you can put the suit on, like, maybe he has his own haul of armor, but it's not armors, it's suits of Captain America through the movies, and then the, you know, the shield is just sitting there, and you can choose if you want to pick it up or not. I think that would be incredible. Next up, here we have Peter Jason Quill, aka Star-Lord. Now, Star-Lord is my favorite Guardian. Don't get me wrong, I love Rocket, Groot, Drax, and Gamora. I love them all, they're awesome. But Star-Lord is just the coolest. He's like a... To me, in the film, he was very much like a space Tony Stark. He was just super cool. And that mask, I love that mask so much. I mean, it's the coolest thing ever. So I thought I would talk a little more about, you know, how I think Star-Lord should be in the game. Because to be honest, I'm pretty sure he's going to be in the game. I'm pretty sure all the Guardians will be in the game. What with them having, you know, their own Lego sets. It just makes sense. So, basically, it should be based on the figure, you know, of Star-Lord that you can get already. But I think he should have no mask. Now, bear with me on this. I don't think he should have a mask, but it would be so cool. I know I just mentioned it with Captain America, that it would be difficult to put a mask on. But what if when you, let's say, get your weapons out, he automatically puts, you know, the mask on. It, like, visualizes over his face, and there it is. And then if you holster them, it puts them away. I think it'll be really cool because it kind of shows that he's combat ready or something like that. And also in Guardians of the Galaxy, you know, there was some flight scenes, so maybe, I don't know, maybe he can fly? That would be super cool, just to be able to fly around with a jet boost. So then, when you start flying, the mask also appears. I think that would be nice. It's a little thing, but it impacts the character and lets the player, both players, you know, Peter Jason Quill without the mask, but with the mask as well, and it makes sense. Another thing that I think will be awesome is idle animations. Idle animations are always cute and funny with the LEGO games. They just push you to wait a few minutes just to see a character do something different. And they've been great these past few years, but I think for Star-Lord, he should start dancing. He should put headphones on, you know, his Walkman, and just start dancing. It's not implied what he's listening to or anything like that, but they could just copy the same dance moves from the end of the film. That would just be hilarious. Alright, so next up here we have Scott Lang, who is of course played by Paul Rudd in the Ant-Man movie. Now, Age of Ultron, Fantastic Four and Ant-Man, I'm really looking forward to all of them. Especially Ant-Man, and the reason behind that is because this film has been worked on for several years, and I just want to know what's going on already. I mean, you know, this film is finally happening, and apparently it is a big part of the MCU. It's not just a small thing they thought, fine, we'll release it already. You know, let's get this out of the way with. It is a big part, and I'm really excited to see how it works. Because I know a lot of people that were very underwhelmed by the trailer. And me personally, I was overwhelmed. I loved that trailer. I thought it was brilliant. And I'm just really excited to see where they take it, because it looks so unique, you know. I'm pretty sure Scott Lang is the first father, you know, superhero in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Yeah, so he should be a really interesting character. Now then, Scott Lang shouldn't be very different from most characters who, you know, who don't have powers. I mean, he's just a normal guy, like I said. So don't really give him anything special, but still make him playable, because it's just fun to play as secret identities. I just love doing it. Peter Parker, Bruce Banner, and Tony Stark, it was just a really cool feature, and I do hope they bring more back this time. However, while making him not that unique, during combat, I think it would be pretty cool to see him, you know, be able to handle himself in a fight. Because if you watch the trailer carefully, you'll see that Hope Van Dyne is actually training Scott Lang. I don't think she's fighting him. No, I don't think they're having a fight or anything. I'm pretty sure she's actually training him for when he has to confront Darren Cross in the Yellowjacket suit. I'm pretty sure that's what she's doing. Also, you know, to be able to get around, I guess he could have a simple double jump. You don't really want to push that too far, because that's for when he's actually in the suit, and that's what I would like to see. As a reference to his criminal past, you could also have a hacking ability, you know, because that has been quite a big part of LEGO games recently, being able to, like, to hack terminals and things. So maybe Scott Lang has that as a reference to his past. That would be pretty cool. Now then, as a transformation, I couldn't think of a thing. And it's really shocking, because I love the transformations in these games, and it's probably one of my favourite parts of the LEGO games after the past few years. They've just been adding such cool things, you know, being able to, like, transform into Spider-Man as Peter Parker at any time, and Hulk into Bruce Banner. It's just an awesome feature. So you know, if they can make it work, great, but I couldn't think of a thing in a way of Scott Lang turning into his costume, because I couldn't think of a thing. So what I thought was, why not just put him in the same character slot? Why not have an Ant-Man slot, which it contains Scott Lang, the movie Ant-Man suit, and Hank Pym? That'd be cool. Why not? But the thing is, if they're allowed, they could also go as far to put the comic book version suit in the game as well. So people who like the LEGO Marvel design, they can still play as it. It's just, because then it gives the player more choice in how they want to play, and I just think that'd be really nice. Now then, watching the trailer again, in the Ant-Man suit, you can see that Scott is obviously stronger. You know, he can do more, or maybe that's just because of his training with Hope, but who knows. But in the trailer, we see him actually throw people, and I just thought that was awesome, because it's not really something we've seen lately. We haven't really seen him, you know, do, you know, punching. So the only thing we've seen so far is him just throwing people. So why not, when you get a combat chain, he throws them? I just think that would be really cool. And in LEGO Marvel, Iron Man did throw people, so it's not like they haven't done it before. Another thing important to mention is he should absolutely be able to shrink at any time. I mean, shrinking is an integral part of Ant-Man. It's the thing you think of straight away. Oh yeah, Ant-Man, he can shrink. So he absolutely needs to be able to do it. I'm sure he can already, so there's nothing to worry about there. But, you know, maybe he can take down enemies quicker, and maybe they don't see him straight away. It could kind of have like a small stealth system, so they can maybe still see you, but they don't see you straight away, and you can take them out quicker. That'd be kind of interesting. And maybe it has its own combat chain, because there was a move in LEGO Marvel where you like jumped into someone's shirt and then beat them up, and then they would explode. So maybe they have that, or something else. We'll have to see. Last but not least, this is probably the thing that I really hope is in the game, because this was something I was expecting to have in LEGO Marvel, but it was weird, he just didn't have. But when you double jump, just like how Green Goblin had his glider, why not give Scott Lang or Hank Pym or whatever the ant, the flying ant. You double jump and then the flying ant appears and you can fly around the map. I just think that would be really cool, because just imagine, you know, you simply double jump, he shrinks, a flying ant catches him, and then you can fly around. And then you press circle and then, you know, the flying ant disappears. Something simple as that would just be really nice. Alright, so next up, this is yet again another Ant-Man movie related character, and I had to put him in here because he just looks like such a cool villain. It is in fact Darren Cross. Now, Darren Cross also, of course, you know, he wears the Yellowjacket suit in the movie, that's the villain. And I thought it would be really cool to have him in this game, because honestly, if Ant-Man movie version and Yellowjacket movie version are in this game, I'm going to play them so much, because that would just be amazing. So what I thought was, since we haven't really seen much, you could just give have a separate slot, not an Ant-Man one, and have Darren Cross, the Yellowjacket movie suit, but maybe also the Yellowjacket comic suit, like the thing we see in Earth's Mightiest Heroes. Maybe that could have its own special abilities. That would be pretty cool. Like, you shoot someone and they shrink. A shrinking gun would be awesome, because they did do that in Lego Batman 3, so it's definitely possible. Like I said, yeah, we haven't really seen anything from Yellowjacket, what he can do, what his abilities are or anything, but he does have those big arms, so maybe you could do something with those. And maybe, because in the promotional art we actually see him like running, and behind him is like a trail of small versions of him, so maybe when you run really fast, a trail of small versions goes behind him, similar to how the Flash runs in the Lego Batman games. That'd be pretty neat. Last but not least, I always like to put something difficult to put at the end of the video, just because I think it would be cool to see. You know, I always like to see how far TT Games will go, and this one is kind of me pushing it a little far. Like last year we had the Arrow request, like I was saying, how it would be so cool if we could play as Arrow, and maybe it was voiced, like, you know, by Stephen Amell, and that happened. And that was crazy. I mean, I was like, whoa, that is exactly what I asked for. So that was really cool. So what if this year we get a Daredevil Netflix DLC pack? Like I said, I don't really want to, you know, go into DLC packs too much, so I'm just going to request this for the actual game itself. But you never know. I mean, you know, there could be a DLC pack, or he could be in the game. I'm not really sure, but we'll have to see. Because Daredevil was a cool character in the game, but I imagine, you know, the Marvel Cinematic Universe version of him, he's not perfect. You know, they've said he will get beat up in the show and things like this. He's not Spider-Man, you know, he doesn't have spider sense, he can't just jump out of danger all the time. He will get his butt kicked. So I think he should have unique fighting style and everything different. Make it look not like unexperienced, but just less experienced than Daredevil in the first game. I think that would be cool. And of course, as I've seen, you know, shown here, you should be able to play as Matt Murdock and Daredevil. I just think that would be really nice. You know, it just adds to it and adds to the whole secret identity thing. Alright guys, so that's pretty much it for this video. I mean, sorry about, you know, how long this video was. I know it's pretty long. I have tried to cut it down a little bit, but there was so much to mention about so many characters and costumes and things. I just had to make it, you know, descriptive. I really wanted to be descriptive about each character and say what exactly I wanted and why I wanted them, because these characters are awesome and I love the movies so much. So to get at least one thing, you know, preferably Obadiah Stane as Monger, because that is like my most requested thing, would just be really nice. So, you know, hopefully we get something. And, you know, let me know what your list is. Let me know what, keep it to the, you know, the MCU for now, because I don't really want to get people's hopes up. Like, I don't want to say Spider-Man and the X-Men and Fantastic Four are in the game yet, because we don't know. So I would say keep your expectations to the MCU for now, and then we'll see how it goes later in the year. Alright guys, so I want to thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned for lots more news on LEGO Marvel's Avengers and LEGO Jurassic World, the video game. And as always, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe.